For the first time in a century, the global wild tiger population has reportedly gone up, and India is leading the way. But despite the good news, wildlife officials say there's a long way to go before the species is out of danger. CCTV's Shweta Bajaj reports from New Delhi.
It's taken 100 years, but the decline in the number of wild tigers in the world has ended, at least for now. A survey by the World Wildlife Fund and the Global Tiger Forum estimates there are nearly 3,900 tigers around the world. It was 3,200 6 years ago. 70% or about 2,500 of them are in India. Dr. Sejal Vora is the Program Director of World Wildlife Fund India. She says it's important the momentum continues.
I think the first thing we did was recognize the seriousness of the problem and act with seriousness. We also put in place the mechanisms immediately, both in terms of finance, because there was a need to really beef up security, there was a need to beef up intelligence.
The rise in India's tiger population is a result of a public-private project started in the early 1970s. It included creating an environment to improve tiger breeding.
You need the government, you need the civil society, a mix of the two, because when tigers multiply, they enter into a landscape where people don't support it.
Despite the turnaround, the outlook for sustaining the tiger population is not out of the woods yet. Because tigers exist in some of the poorest countries in Asia, one of the biggest challenges remains mobilizing funds. A challenge big enough that could become a hurdle for these countries to meet their goals and targets on tiger population. India recently hosted a conference on tiger conservation involving 13 countries. Officials say one of their long-term goals, in addition to funding, is recognizing the value of tiger habitats, involving governments at the highest levels and technology.
Years of protection in a reserve can be wiped out in a few months if you take your eye off the ball. So I think, again, this thing about, yes, we've increased protection, but we need to keep it going. Because again, as numbers increase, it becomes easier for poachers.
The goal is to double the tiger population around the world in the next 6 years, while also raising conservation awareness at the same time. Shweta Bajaj, CCTV, New Delhi, India.